Hello, I've never done a live stream before, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do really. But I'm just tatting this doily here. I just started it a couple days ago. I accidentally left it at my work for so I haven't been able to work on it as much as I would want to. So I kind of just want to show you like maybe without posting a video what I'm working on and where I'm at with it. Let me close this ring and I'll show you guys the pattern. Of course, I can't share with you the actual diagram just because it's a paid and copyright, but the tatting worm is in my brain now because I woke up and immediately wanted to tat. So that's what I'm doing. What are you gonna do? It's my day off, so I don't really care. So this is what it is right now. Do, do I hang out with people who do what I do? No. I frequently on social media say that tatting is dying. It's dying like lace form. But everybody gets mad. But I'm from California, you guys must know, where like people don't even cut their own sandwich when they go out. So I'm from California, so I doubt not many people know how to speak another language. Like it's just really like nobody knows how to tat, nobody knows how to crochet, and if they do, I've actually never met somebody who knew how to tat, like ever. I've never met somebody else in person who can like tat. So I've never. So now that I'm gonna go to the state fair, I'm gonna see all these things. So I want to show you the doily that I'm working on right now. Um, this is it right here. Just don't look at the pattern. This is where I've started. So I'm actually on this round right now. I'm on round three, and I guess we can just continue. It's a pretty easy tatting in black thread. I've never done that before. I'm sure you could probably guess I really only use white or cream. I actually use cream for everything, and I use this thread specifically, Lisbeth thread. But I believe it's because white goes with everything. So it goes on every type of wood type where I would probably put something on. Why do I make doilies? I guess I could answer this. Why do I make so many doilies? Um, it's just because I want to. I don't really care about doilies. I don't really think they're. I don't know. I'm neutral about them. You know, it's just fun to make something, and I just like to be. Sometimes I make my picos a little too small, but yeah, it's just fun to make stuff, and I just like to make things. So maybe if it comes in the form of a little circle you put on your desk, I don't know. I just like to do stuff. I have to find my footing on rows like this. I keep making mistakes because I'm not used to the camera. I've got a new tripod and I'm not used to the camera being over me like this. But hmm. Yeah, see, because I feel like the stitches would be harder if it was black thread. It'd be harder, and I don't know if it's just me, but I also feel like threads that are dyed slide faster, where they tat with easier. I feel like white this one's cream, so, you know, it has some color to it, but I feel like white thread in general just is much rougher. I don't need a tattoo to make my picos even, honestly, just because I've just made hundreds and thousands and millions of them. At this point, if they're not even, then what am I doing wrong? Sometimes, People say that about, like, my work, "Oh, your picos are so even, your stitches are so even." It's like, I hope they would be. I've made so many of them that, like, at this point, it's like, what am I doing wrong if they're not, like, even by now? But I do appreciate it, um, but I go, "Yeah, like, I feel like if they should be. I wouldn't want them to not." I use a crochet hook even though my shuttles have crochet hooks on them. What are you gonna do about it? This is a pattern I've wanted to make for a very long time. Jan has different, he has a whole bunch of patterns. I really like to make doilies because I like to just take off. Th they start off so small, but then, like, you randomly just, like, snap back into consciousness when you're tatting one day, and they've turned huge. So, I've made my 4, so there's 4. I'm gonna make a small little chain right there, and, uh thank you for tuning in to watch me. I don't really know I didn't really know you could do live streams, so, that was new. I was just figured it out. I clicked on the plus button on accident, and it was pulled me up to the live function. So here I am. I'm gonna test this out, see what's like good on here. I just don't know what people want to see. What do you want to see? Just me tatting in real time or what? It's just gonna be my hands because I just woke up. Like I look crusty as hell. My little secret, um, do I have any particular tatting pointers? I like to say I'm not that good of a teacher. Actually, I work in management at Starbucks. So, I have trained, almost 20 individuals into their positions now, and I'm very passionate about it. Once I am able to sit down and think about it, I've not really been able to sit down and think about my teaching it and how I would best communicate that. I would say the best things that you should be doing are when you're going between chains, which are these chain stitches right here and these circle stitches. I'll show you. I'll put the first stitch on. The first stitch is the most important always. I'll make my first stitch again for you if I can. It's really important that when you make your rings, you're snugging them up as closely to your chains as possible. This is the chain, right? This is the bare thread. I think that that defines how your work looks. See, boom, I've snugged the stitch all the way up to the chain because I want no bare thread space. What's also really important, I would say, is tatting a lot because the thing about tatting is that you have to challenge yourself. You must challenge yourself because when you first start tatting it, this is like not easy. I was, I think I was a sixth grader and I learned to tat as a sixth grader. And I gave up originally because I had really janky tatting shuttles, and so I gave up and I tried needle tatting, but I'm sorry to if there's anybody who needle tats, like, in this chat, but I just do not like it whatsoever. I don't really think it looks great or how I was able to make it, and I don't see a lot of pieces that I love that are made in needle tatting format. That's just my opinion, though. Like, I'm glad to be able to share that opinion with you guys, but, and if you don't like shuttle tatting, I won't get offended. I know a lot of people who go, "I cannot shuttle tat. I can only needle tat." I'm like, "That how crazy." It's beyond me. Needle tatting is beyond me. Not it's difficult, but it's something that I don't wanna learn. Tatting is a way to make lace, as far as I know, but this guy's making a doily. Oh, sorry, guy. I can't are you I can't really see the comments, okay, but, they're the last person to tat in my family. So, I've got these really small Asian aunts, and they have always loved handcrafts and handmade things, and so, like, of course, my aunts always knew about tatting. I always tat my aunts things. Um, they're usually because I used to really not have a lot of stuff for myself until I just recently made those 2 doilies. Those are the things I've just recently made for myself that I'm keeping, but, I usually tat for my aunts, and I think one of them, they both learned how to do it, but just thought it was too hard or too difficult, so never really picked anything up with it. I had my grandmother, her, great aunt used to crochet lace, and she used to tat. That's the last person I know in my bloodline who knew how to do that, other than my great-grandmother, Noriko, my great-grandmother Noriko, who she used to tat as well, and she's the reason why I tat. Fortunately, I don't really have any of their pieces. I don't really have any of the pieces from my great-grandmother because, she's just a hoarder. Well, she died, she was 95 when she died, but, she was a Japanese woman in the Japanese locked up in the Japanese, internment camps in the United States, and, her husband died a very long time ago, and she became less mobile, and she always would it's very common in my family to just collect things and kind of hoard, and I don't mean kind of, I mean, yeah, like, a lot, so she definitely was a hoarder. We cleaned out her house multiple times, and now that she's passed away, her home is still in disarray. I mean, um, I eh, we ch I can't go up there and clean it always. In fact, I've only done it once, so I don't have any of her tatting stuff. I have some crochet stuff, but, I can't find anything tatting. Anyways, that's kind of quite random, but, um, tatting does require blocking. And in fact, if you guys remember that, big doily that I made, it was curling up really bad, and I knew that maybe the first rows did not have to be blocked, but definitely the later rows did. And I think that you must block your tatting, even if it doesn't necessarily need it. Like this is coming out in a great shape. I'd like to say that it's coming out in a great shape. I could press it, but I might just want to you know block it because I think blocking it gives you the control that you want over the ending shape because I don't like it when it curls. Sometimes I see beautiful pieces that like people didn't block, and I go, "Dang, this would have been a literally 11 out of 10 piece had you blocked it, and it would just been perfect." But yeah, I block everything. I'm struggling to realize this what the predict the size of this doily, what the outcome size will be. I really like the corner though. I'm really circle doilies, yeah, they're whatever. So, this is gonna be an octagon doily. My last doily was a decagon, had 10 sides. Um, one before was a hexagon. So actually, my last three doilies have not been real true circles, which I'm kind of happy about. This is supposed to look like this. So it says 54 centimeters, but he used a bigger size thread than I do. I always use a size 20 or 40 just because I like the finer work a little bit better. I got into this hobby just because of, like my aunts, and due to the fact that that kind of answer two questions on here. And due to the fact that I do a lot of other, not recently, but I started off not as a tatter. I started off as a crocheter and knitter. So I've just crocheted and knit my whole life. Really, it was before middle school I really took off with knitting and crochet, but I've done it ever since I was in second grade. My mom first taught me how to do the chain stitch, which it was important to me because usually did not get to see my mother, so that stuck out with me. That was one thing that always stuck out with me, and I crocheted because she taught me. So I always had fun with that. In fact, I have a lot of my favorite type of crochet is, this is probably why I like tatting so much. I've always craved lace, so I would do Irish crochet lace. I liked crochet doilies. I would do cable blankets. I really loved cables. And I really just I didn't like flat crochet. I really like textured extremist crochet. Everything I do I like extremist. So, still using a size 8 thread. That, I mean, you do you. It's just whatever you prefer. What I will say this, that I don't ever use size 80 thread. I literally can't. I don't know what it is. I can't shut my rings. I always I always break the thread. And actually I started this doily, and it's been, keep in mind I worked for the last like 5 months in just size 20 thread. So I'm very used to using it right now. I was using size 40 to make this one. Do I have the, actually I'll show you something real quick. I started making this doily, in a size 40. I'm gonna make it in a size 40. So this is the difference. This is the size 40 thread with which I want to make this doily with. This is the centerpiece. But I fucked it up because I didn't add an extra join space on here. So I can't join to it, and also it's just really small. I felt something was off right here because it was curling in a little bit. I was like, "Oh, this is feels a little small. Maybe I'm doing something wrong." Yep, I was, but 40, obviously these are not the same size rings or anything, so it's hard to show you the difference, but yep, this is a 40. So I fucked it up, and then I started this in a size 42, but then I kept ripping it. Um I'm like, "What am I doing? Are my rings too like tight?" And I do like tighter, but filet crochet, I always love filet crochet. I always see that stuff in antique stores. I used to make some filet crochet stuff before I fully did tatting. Now I do tatting most of the time. I haven't crocheted in a very long time. My fingers don't get stiff, no. I love crochet again. I'm using book. It's called Tatted Treasures by Jan Stawaz. I bought it off a website called Handy Hands. That's where I buy all my threads from. They're the manufacturer of this, my favorite thread. Uh let's see. How do I scroll down? Uh, I know I probably have to I've never used a DMC. I did use a DM I used a ba I used one thread, but it was not like tatting thread, it was crochet cotton, which another tip I would tell you guys is, I mean, you tat with whatever you wanna tat with because it's your work in the end, but I'll tell you something I won't tat with, and it's, crochet cotton. I just don't like how it it loses its shape after a while. It's if you iron it, it kind of like I don't iron tatting either. I think it damages the tatting. In a way, it damages the thread if you're not very extremely careful. I would rather just block and then press afterwards if necessary. But with that being said, crochet cotton is just too thick for me. And it doesn't hold its shape very well. In fact, I could show you guys a extremely old project of mine that I did in crochet cotton when I was like new, and I'll show you why I do not like it. This thread feels nice. Like this, it feels nice. It slides very well with crochet cotton. It doesn't slide very well. It can be quite stiff. It loses its shape, and so I, if you remember the doily that's going to the state fair, that doily is this exact same pattern, except for I made it probably years earlier. This is a relic. This doily is a relic. So I'll just place my work. I'm gonna move this real quick. This is an old doily of mine. I never finished it, but I got hella far. I never finished it, but and now it's too old for me. I can't ever finish it now because because my tat's so different. I could never tat the exact same that I did here. I can never have the exact same tension. If I did, it wouldn't fit very well, and it already doesn't really fit very well together. But yeah, this was the doily I made for the state fair, made probably 8 years ago, 10 years ago. I'll show you another doily. I made this one not that long ago, but I'll show you why I stopped making it. So I'm actually gonna remake it. I'm gonna remake it in a smaller thread. So I started this a long time ago. This is actually what I started making in size 40 thread. This is the same pattern. But stopped making it because I got so far, got so far, got so far, and then I ran out of thread on a ball, and it was my last ball. And I go, oh shit, what color did I use? I'm like, I think I used white, and I was going along making it, and ran out of that ball of thread, and I go, oh shit, what color was I using? Was I using cream? So I started to use cream. So actually, in fact, I started off with the color natural. I thought I was using white, so I switched to white, and then I thought I was using cream, so I switched to cream. So there's 3 different colors in this, and you guys are gonna comment, "Oh, well, you can't tell. You can't tell." Guess what? You can. It's just you can't tell in this light. But if it, I actually can see perfectly with my eyes where it ends and where it starts. And you know what? Even at this time, I feel like I tat differently than I tat at this point, so you're so happy to see a mask in tatting. I'm not quite sure what that is, honestly. I haven't tatted any masks or, I don't really tat jewelry. I could dye it, but guess what? I don't want to, I'd rather just remake it, you know? I can't sit down and do it. Oh, masculine person? That's actually very interesting because Okay, so I did not I didn't understand what that was. Okay, so, um, people, I get this a lot. They go, "Oh, you're like a old lady. You're like an old lady, or you're like an old grandma." I always get compared to an old grandma. You know, people say like in my YouTube comments that I'm a lesbian because I tat. It's like, is it that threatening to you that I tat? Like I'm allowed to do anything I want to, and people that also begs the question. People always like pick on me for it, but it's like there's a reason why you're writing the comment and I'm actually making the thing. It's because I've got the skill to do it. So I allow any type of, like, comments in my comment section because everybody has a right to tell me what they're thinking about it, regardless if I wanna hear it or not, so but yeah, so really like tatting regardless of if it came from a long history of females, so yeah, I do it, and, that also a lot of people ask me too, like, "Why do you do that?" They say it like a passive aggressive way, like, "Well, what is it even for? What do you even do that for? Why do you spend all your time doing that?" Because I can and you can't. Just kidding, but but, like, because I can and I'm doing it, does that make you mad? Here's the thing, if you don't think I'm an old grandma, that's okay. I don't care what any of you guys think because I just do this and you watch it or you don't, so that's kind of how my, like, mindset is about it. I know, right? So, what's even crazy to me is, yeah, like, knitting was, there were guilds of just men knitting. I mean, this guy he's a guy. He's a bro, he's a dude. I mean, he's a dude. So, he actually was in a car crash and was disabled, so he couldn't really, like, work anymore, so then he tatted. But, yeah, it just goes to show you don't have to be a female to tat, you just have to have a set of hands. So if you got a set of hands, like, that's basically it. Or maybe I'm lying to you and I am female and I'm pretending, but I'm not trying to infiltrate female society. I also get that too. I'm trying to infiltrate because I'm a guy and I'm tatting. It's like it has promise you has nothing to do with it. I just want to make something like cool. So that's what I'll do. But let's continue tatting. I should probably drink some water. I can continue with my pattern. I'd like to say I don't get offended too often, just because uh, I'm glad to have the right to be able to like say whatever, than not. So I guess I just really appreciate that. But it's also I do receive some hate comments on YouTube, and forgot what I was gonna say. I started reading a comment, but I forget that people can comment live. Yeah, right. Creativity is not gender specific. Somebody told me they were like, "You should really get into woodworking. Like, you shouldn't be doing all that lace stuff. You should get into woodworking." It's like, I don't think I fucking will because I don't I would actually, I don't think I will because I don't have time to. I already do a lot, but, work full time, I go to school full time, I tat a lot, you know, I gotta go grocery shopping, clean my house, it's just like so I do have a lot on my plate already, but people say, "You should take up woodworking because it's more, manly." I just don't give a shit how I look. I don't give a shit that this doesn't look manly. Because really what I'm doing is I'm making cool little things for my elderly aunts and my grandma. Like, wouldn't you wanna make cool stuff for your elderly aunts and grandma? Yeah, this pattern might not be sitting as well as I thought it was at first, but, uh, I don't know what you would tat yourself. People say, "Oh, can you tat me a wedding dress?" I'm like, if I started 10 years ago, probably. But, I don't know what you would tat yourself. I'm not really familiar with a lot of female fashion or, stuff like that, but, people of wedding veil, you could tat a wedding veil. I don't even really know how like, is that a big thing? Does it have to go to the ground, or, like, could you probably just make yourself, like, a smaller rectangle shape, like, veil out of tatting? I'm sure you could get away with. Tat accents onto your dress. Yeah, so Slavic, I know, so this guy's Polish, Polska, and so whenever I don't know how to, like, pronounce it, but, is it serweta? Serweta? Like, for, like, doily, I think this is Polish, but they do a whole bunch of this crap. So, yeah, I'm just doing, like, house decor right now, um, but you could tat 3D things. I don't see a lot of, tatting inspiration on Instagram or anything like that. In fact, I hardly see tatting on Instagram. I always see Reddit, but I don't really see a lot of, like, people like me, like, sharing patterns or stuff like that. I don't see a lot of, like, finished objects. Right now, it's a lot of people learning, which I'm happy about. So, I use Xiaohongshu, the, Chinese social media, because tatting is super popular in China. It's like, I would say it's super popular in China, not in the United States. Like, people say, "Oh, yeah, there's a whole bunch of people here who do it." Okay, maybe around you in, like, Nebraska, but in California, I've never even seen one. So I use Xiaohongshu. A bouquet of tatted flowers would be cool. So my sister's getting married in October, and, I'm wondering what I should tat her. I just tatted her something. I haven't edited the video yet, but, I just tatted her a little star coaster. I don't have it. She brought it to work to put her, business cards on, but your grandma hid her own pattern book? Right? Yeah, so that's what my grandparents would do too. I'm not sure why. They would just hide their old patterns. My grandma would do that with her recipes too. So the one who why I'm tatting right now, it's because of her, my great grandma Noriko. I have a picture of her. This is her. This is my great grandmother Noriko. So she would tell us patterns. She's Japanese, so she had a lot of Japanese pattern, not and excuse me, not patterns, recipes, and she would share them with people, but she would just specifically leave out the fact that she put, like, MSG, or she put sugar in everything, and she just would never write that in the recipe. She just would put sugar to it. So what my grandmother, that's my great grandmother, my grandmother would say, "Why does my potato salad always taste different than, my grandmother's, like, than hers?" Because she failed to mention that she put sugar. Oh, she put scallion oil, or, like, just, like, stuff like that in there. So, yeah, she was a tricky old lady. She lived for so long, though. Because she was Japanese, they live forever. That's the joke in my family, all the Japanese live forever. If you couldn't tell, yes, I'm Japanese as well. I just don't look the part. I'm a yapper, I'm sorry. Should be reading these comments, but I'm sorry I moved too quick, but I hate to go slow. I'm sorry. I just hate going slow, but I will for you. I'll show you real quick, but I'm not gonna slow down the whole time. So look. Oh, I could tell you were wearing a jade bracelet ring. Oh yeah. This is uh this is my jade bangle. Yes, it's grade A jadeite. Listen to the sound. That's how you know. And I've got a jade ring as well. But I'll do the slow tatting movements. I'll do a chain. So I'm doing unflipped stitches. You usually would flip these, which is the hardest part of tatting, I'd say, to learn. It's the hardest part to learn, but the easiest part to maintain once you know it. I'm putting my hand. I'm creating a loop. Do you see this loop right here? I'm putting my shuttle over. Do you see this loop right here? Under, and I'm just making one half of the stitch because there's two halves to a stitch. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but remember how the I did this? I went over and I put it through this loop. The loop's gonna be over my hand now, and I'm gonna go under the thread, cross my finger, and over, and I've created the other half of this stitch. So 3. Boom. I've just made 3 stitches. I'll make another. I'll make another stitch, and in fact, I'll make a couple more because I gotta place hundreds more of these to even get past this row, so if I'm doing it slow, I'll show you the flip stitches in a second. It's really easy to go fast in tatting, I would say. How much do I sell my work for? I sell it for $0 because I don't sell my work, unfortunately. A lot of people have always asked me that, but, tatting takes, um, such a long time that it's like, number 1, that if that one doily I just made, I was curious, so, I charged, the rate that my work pays me, which I do get paid quite a higher amount at my work, but, if I were to charge hourly the same amount I got paid at work, the amount of time it took me to that doily would be $8,000 of just labor cost, you know? Not accounting for my skill level or, my materials, and, my skill level, I would say, would inflate that cost of labor just a little bit, but it's like, how do you charge? Do you charge hourly? Do you charge on the completed project? It's like, well, with tatting, it's like, I don't know. I don't ever sell, and I probably won't. That's interesting. You tat horizontal, I tat vertical. I don't even know what that could even mean. I didn't use books as a beginner, and that's probably why I succeeded. You need to go on YouTube and look how people actually do it, like movements. Yeah, once you do the flip, it's like you do anything. I use this thread right here. Yep, hardcore. Yep, try tatting. Other handcrafts like fleche. Is that a French one? Okay, just sped ran through all those comments. So, lots of diagnose here. Yeah, and my last bangle, I don't have it anymore, so it's buried. I buried it because that's what you're just supposed to do. but, it's untreated jadeite grade A. Then for books, everybody always asks me, like, "What book should I be buying?" And I'm like, "You should be buying no books to learn." I mean, books so I use a book for my patterns. Sure, that's for patterns, but to learn it, you should not be using a book to learn it. There number 1 are just 3,000,000 different ways to tat. Everybody tat differently. So, like, maybe that girl said, "I tat vertical, she tat horizon." I don't remember what she said, but, it's, like, just the difference like that. It's called the slip and slide method because I don't know, I'm just slipping and sliding, I guess, you know? But, I think it's because I'm doing this motion, like, 1, and I'm doing this. Some people wrap all the way around. I don't know how listen, I just know how to do it my way. There's another content creator she was on TikTok named Marilee Rockley, she's on YouTube too, she's a tatter, she makes, like, R2D2, and she makes extravagant tatted, oh, I just made a mistake. I've just made a mistake. Let's pull back some stitches. This takes my divine, full concentration. I hate pulling back stitches. If you guys probably see my videos, but, I mentioned how there's a lot of things I actually really don't like about tatting, and this is one of them. I just do not really like this very much. Pulling back stitches. I cannot stand making mistakes in tatting because, I like to move forwards, not backwards. I feel like I've heard of that before, fléché. It just sounds like I could tell it was of, French origin because I do speak French, but, I don't know how to I don't know how to do that, and quite frankly, I can't look it up because, my mind's taken up by removing this mistake. I'm one-track minded. I know of null binding. Picture this, you make a mistake, but your thread is a size so small, your hook can't even fit it into it. Skedaddle, bye-bye. Thanks for being here, tired teacup. Marilee Rockley's cool. Yeah, she's cool. So, I actually our lore goes way back, me and Marilee Rockley. Same with Frivole, that lady on YouTube, she's my favorite. Actually, look up Frivole on YouTube. Frivole, that's her YouTube channel name. She's the best and my favorite. She produces these shuttles that I have. She makes them. She my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite. She's the sweetest and she's just done the most for me. I was a kid. I was so young and she was just such a good influence on me, tatting wise. So I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. I mean, really, she's a part of the reason why I know a lot of what I do now. But yeah, so I can turn the corner now. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying because it's like this guy has he has a tutorial in the first of his other book, the Black Book, and I literally like I do not know if it's just me, but I cannot fathom it for some reason. Like I know how to tat, and if I read that book, it's just like number one, it's translated from a different language, which never helps. So it's like never spot on, and yeah, just go on YouTube, please. If you're an English speaker, look up Frivole. She lives in the UK. However, she's actually French Canadian. She is québécoise. Elle est vraiment québécoise. Elle peut parler vraiment le français, and she knows a lot of French designers too. But would it be easier to rip back with a sharp? Yeah, a sewing needle if it's that thick. That's what I have to resort to. Sometimes if I accidentally pull a stitch really tight, it happens sometimes, never on purpose, but, just happens if I, like, get my thread caught or whatever, I pull it really tight on accident, I'll have to use a sewing needle. But, yep, you just get it because it's all knots, you gotta tie it all back. It's useful to know it. Is it useful know it French for this art form? Um, would it be easier to rip back? I don't know, I don't really use French patterns. I mean, I use a lot of Polish patterns. I really tat I'm really loyal to this guy. This is my tatting brother. He's my tatting brother, and I'm very loyal to him. I really only tat his designs. Um, I only really like to tat things one time. 2, 4. Okay, good. I didn't fucked it up once, don't wanna fuck it up again. Of course, I'm not making a necklace for myself or anything, and unless my aunt wanted to, I usually don't mess around with beads, but I make a lot of his, other things, like, kinda wanna make this doily, but kinda don't wanna make all that. Kinda don't. So I'll just stick to this one for right now. Yeah, every romance language calls it something else. My coworker from Chile calls it frivolite, frivol, um, I know, um, what is this called? Frivolit frivolit kove. Tatted, maybe that's just tatted, I don't know, it's all got something to do with an F sounding. So, I know it, tattingu in Japanese because I speak Japanese, tattingu, and how I'm able to search for it because I do speak, a little bit of Chinese as well, I speak Mandarin specifically, it's called 缩编 类似 缩编 类似 and, on tatting. I could write it down if you're interested in looking at different patterns on the Chinese social media, but I don't have my pen and paper. But, oh, okay, no, it's Frivole, Frivole, Frivole on YouTube. Her picture's go gra bro, go grab your tatting shuttle right now. Go grab it because, why not? Just do something, get busy with your hands. I'm glad you found it. She's my favorite. Bro, she's my favorite. Like, she just has the best it's like ASMR, it's like ASMR. I should not say this, but back when I was, like, back way back I'm sure you can see my comments on those videos, but, back way back when, I used to watch them to fall asleep because it was like ASMR to me. She has these bracelets that, like, whenever she's tatting, she's like, they, like, jingle. I just love it. She's amazing. She's my favorite ever. Like, I don't have enough time to talk about her on YouTube. That's why I just don't. She has so many, like, one shuttle patterns too, like so I always use 2 shuttles. You don't always, you could connect it to the ball and work from ball and shuttle. I don't like the tension that way. I like to be able to tension it easier with, having it disconnected. But she has a lot of, like, designs that you can make one shuttle. If you wanna learn how to make this square is literally her pattern. I just have had this sitting out forever. Yeah, this is the see, look, you don't have to tat. I crocheted a, amigurumi, the bees. I've crocheted amigurumi before. Um, Never a octopus. I've always seen those octopus patterns. I've always wanted to do a sea turtle or something. I've always wanted to make my grandma a sea turtle. Did I make her a sea turtle? That's her favorite animal, but it was like a granny square, like, sea turtle thing. I coulda sworn I did that, but, I can't quite remember. I gotta ask her. I might give this piece of lace to my grandmother once I'm done with it as well. I would s maybe now that I'm on YouTube, I feel quite more adventurous, so maybe I would, sell something, but not for a while. I'd have to really think about what it would be. Something earrings with beads. Yeah, definitely if you have carpal tunnel, this you cannot I I knew of a girl who had, she got tendinitis, so, Frivol, actually, the lady I've just recommended on YouTube, she got, carpal tunnel, so she stopped tatting for a while. She doesn't really, like, tat, like, horrendously anymore, but that's horrendous, so, you don't really move your hands, it's just your elbow. Like, moving your finger up and down like this, I'm really feeling it in my elbow. Like, I feel it at the bottom of my elbow. I couldn't wait for this row because I knew it would be, like, an easy one that I could just bust out. Um think I started it yesterday. Um, Usually it would just take me like probably if I sat down and did it for 4 hours, it would do that, but I haven't sat down for 4 hours and done it. So, or I think this rub would probably take maybe 5 hours, but because I've already been tatting for an hour, I haven't really gone that far. If you could see. The thing I just dislike the most with tatting patterns is I dislike making individual motifs. Individual motifs piss me off kind of. So would that be a problem for you if you could if it would be kind of activating your elbow? I'm curious. Oh, that would. Well, you can always needle tat, which does not shuttle tatting is different, where you must flip the knot, but needle tatting, the only thing you're moving is you don't even have to move your finger. You can just wrap thread around like this. You would do this with thread. You just wrap it around a needle and you can tat that way as well. People do like that. Now let me untie this off my finger. I need some water. Can I grab some water really quickly? Oh, I'm almost done with this, bro. I'm almost done. I've got one, like, 2 more repeats left. Gets me excited. I'm trying to think. Okay, so before I grab some water, we could look through this book. I want to make it series. I've been recording this so far. I'm gonna record a little bit of like when I finish it, I always record the end of it. But there's things like collars. Let me know what you're interested in seeing make. There's things like collars, this doily. You'll see how I just made. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. I made only the star part of this doily for my sister. She didn't want the full doily. She just wanted a little coaster, so I just made her the star part. There's collars. There's doilies. This doily number two. I would hate to make this one though. For those who don't tat, it's just like you have to sew in ends, which is like the worst part. There's a waistcoat, bro, a waistcoat. Who is making that? Like, do not go Poland in the 90s. This would be scary. A whole waistcoat. And I'm like, That would take fucking forever to make. Excuse my language, but that would take forever. This doily I've always liked. I've always wanted to get around to this one. I just don't like motifs though, and this one is fully motifs, but you know what? No pain, no gain. A flower pot, because I'm just fixing to have one of those. Really fixing to have a flower pot. This doily, I don't know why the picture's so blurry on the thing. A collar, no, a necklace with beads. I don't do beads though. This is a petite, skinny, tiny little doily, so I'm interested in it. Want to make that. This is another doily. Looks, this one's like the least on my to-do list. I should wear the waistcoat. I'm not wearing that damn thing. Uh, I'm not wearing that damn waistcoat. There's a cap. Another thing I'm not wearing. I always wanted to make one just for the shits and giggles of it, but it's a time commitment to make one of these. So that's kind of why I haven't done it. This is this is one I'll probably make next. Even though again, it's all motifs, all motifs. An angel. This doily I like. It's got again all motifs. And then if that doesn't make it worse, there's just an element here. So this element, which is this piece, is made individually. So you have to start a whole new ball of thread and ring and you just have to start new shuttles for it, start it and then end it right here and then sew it in every single time. Like for just that little bit of a thing. This a tie. Bro, I'll wear this one at my wedding. Thinking of wearing this tie at my wedding. Another doily. Also, congrats on finding your shuttle. You better get to work now, though. Tatted sun cap. That now, I'll tell you what. That's interesting. This doily I do want to make, but dang, whole row of motifs, individual motifs. I don't know what it is with this guy and individual motifs, but I'm not messing with it. This one I've wanted to make for years. A heart, a cross, you name it, I'll make it. This little doily, I've already made this one before. I have no interest in ever doing it again. Another blurry collar. Somebody told me they were making this one. It's a little flower doily. I probably won't do that unless my grandma wants it, or my aunt wants it. But a necklace that probably weighs 10 pounds. Another collar. This doily, which I wanted to make. This is a big ass doily. Again, with the suspiciously blurry photo. Another necklace. Another doily. Another cap because I'm fixing for a cap. Another doily. An egg. This is the third one, it would appear. Um, and like this is like no small dealio either. This looks like a intricate like 9 or 10 row pattern for an egg. Like this shit's crazy. Okay, and then the table set, which I want to do, but it looks kind of like I don't know. It looks a little sus, but I'd probably die before I finish that. I want to do this doily just because I've seen a whole bunch of people make it, and this. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a quick sip of water. Okay, I'm back. Sorry to leave y'all hanging, but I just had to get some water. Yeah, like The eggs, right? The eggs are just so, like, I'm not making an egg. They're cool, I've made it tatted ornaments in the past before. I just wanna finish this round, okay? I can finish this, I've got it in me. Thank you, I appreciate that. You could combine, techniques to make the cap. I actually do wanna, you could combine different rows to make that. It could get a little tricky though, but, it could definitely get a little tricky. So that is basically, if you remember the controversial doily. I just didn't make that video very well, honestly, when I look back on it because it left people, like, really confused because there was, like, things that I did not mention. So I wanna give you guys exactly my thought process of saying why that doily was controversial. Because so there was a Facebook group called the Monster Doily Group, and they do not let you in unless, like, they don't let you in, they don't, unless you've, like, are an experienced tatter, which that's fine, because of course I wanna help everybody, but I also do wanna talk exclusively with, people who do know what that I don't have to, like, people who do know what they're doing and maybe could offer me some advice that I don't know, or, like, I just like to, see, like, what experience, like, large projects are going on, I don't know, I'm not trying to be, like, rude or anything, but I was just really curious to get into that group, so because I wanted to make the monster doily, and they never accepted me in. Like, they never accepted me in, and it was just always something. I would always hear about the monster tatting group, how, they're it already just starting off in, like, the rules, everything's in caps, it's like, "No sharing the pattern. The only legal way to get the pattern is to have bought it from blah, 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 blah on Etsy, you're not supposed to scan," like, they're just it's just that we're doing way too much. It's like, "Okay, I'm about to make a monster doily group for myself, and you're not invited." Just kidding, like, just kidding on that, but, um, it was just weird, the rules were weird. It was like, "No asking for numbers of the stitches, no this, that." It's like, I literally it's not that big of a deal, bro. It's not that big of a deal. We could just all do this pattern, and we could all hold hands and jump and skip, and it will all be good. But they wanted to gatekeep it so hard. They were like, "Oh, it's like," and they know damn well that nobody's selling that pattern. That pattern is not for sale, and it hadn't been for sale for since 2006. So no, people cannot find that reprint on Etsy anymore. That random ass Polish needlecraft magazine. Like, yeah, it's like, nice try. Have fun trying to track that one down, right? So, and then whenever, so one a couple of the rows had no numbers for, no stitch counts. They would, like, throw a fit, God forbid you asked about those stitch counts, and what I was like, "It's controversial because no matter if you did it this way." Oh, so this one girl took a whole bunch of rows from his books and compiled them to make the doily because the pattern was not available. So it's called the monster doily. So the monster doily, no, it's called the, Frankenstein monster doily because it's composed of different rows from different doilies to make the monster doily. It is a little different though. Stitch counts are going to be different, and the amount of picots and ring sizes could be different. Could vary because it's not exactly how we wrote it. I understand that. So I didn't exactly want to follow that pattern. I wanted to do exactly what he wrote. But people are like, the monster doilies, the Frankenstein doily is not actually the monster doily because you see, and I'm like, how about you just shut up and tat your own business? Just don't make it if you don't wanna do it. See, look, that's what I do. There's a lot of things I don't like that other people do in tatting. I don't really like a lot of colors. I don't really like, bare thread tatting, but I just mind my own damn tatting business, and I tat whatever the hell I wanna tat, and they tat whatever the hell they wanna tat. So, yeah, you're free to do whatever the hell you want to regardless of if I like it or not. Yeah, I know gatekeeping is like the only thing that I ever gate kept from you are The shuttles. I gate kept these shuttles, and people would ask. Well, it's not that I gate kept it. I just people nobody ever people did ask about the shuttles, and I go I just wouldn't answer it because I knew she would only make like 3 of these at a time. She before like everybody started to like before posted about them. Since I posted about them, I've not been able to buy one of them. I've not been able to buy one of them. So that I knew if I posted about it, everybody would want them, and I knew so I just was like, "Okay, Christian, like, you're gonna have to answer the question at least, like, eventually you'll have to answer, like, where you got them from." So, what I did was I bought hella of them. I bought, like, 5 of them, um, bought 5 of them, and then I told everybody. So, she was so happy that everybody was buying her shuttles that she actually made me a custom one, and it, says my name on it, so I'm quite happy about that. Here it is. It's just superb. Haven't used it yet, but just know that this is one's means the most to me because she made me another so you guys only know me from YouTube, but I've been on many other social medias. They don't exist anymore, but she's sent me something else before as well. She sent me something on my 13th birthday too. I'm now 20, by the way. It's extra special to me that shuttle because she made me a custom shuttle with a custom varnish last time. So this was the first one she ever made me, a gift for me. She gifted me. This was the other one, and it's so reminiscent to me. So reminiscent because they're both of the same flower and the same green color. And green is my favorite color. So yeah, those are very important to me. But so I don't use them very often. And in fact, I've never used this one. I've always wanted to make a baby bonnet. Not because I got a baby or anything, but just because I'm like, yeah, I could do that. So there are some baby bonnet patterns that I've seen with like the ribbons that go through it, but I don't have a baby. And is that kind of weird if I tatted that for no reason? You know? Maybe I'll tap myself a baby bonnet that fits my head. So if anybody asks, I could just be like, oh, that's just for me. I crocheted I want to say that the last thing no, one of the last things I crocheted, other than my blanket, I made a Irish crochet blanket. But other than that, it was a dress. My cousin was having a baby, and it was a dress for the baby. This is before we knew the gender. That baby was in fact a boy, so I wonder if she still has the dress. I spent couple well, with crochet, it takes, like, 5 seconds. For to me, everything crochet takes 5 seconds because tatting takes so long, and I used to crochet, so I would I crochet sometimes between tatting projects, not recently, but I have in the past. So I say, oh, it took forever. That dress took me a long time, but then I think like, oh, it probably only took me like 2 to 3 days to make it, honestly. So, which in fact, like any large tatting doily would take me about a month or 2 to complete. If I've got the steam for it, that is. Gray Martin, I'm happy that I got you into tatting. Because I'm glad to be able to share this because I know it's unnecessary. I know it's unnecessary and it doesn't do anything, but I don't give a shit. If I was concerned about that, I wouldn't be doing it. So that's what everybody says. They try to rebut me, like they try to refute my claim of tatting's the best thing ever. They go, "Well, what do you use it for?" Beats me. So I'm glad I got you into tatting. I'm curious to hear what you're working on, because everybody prefers to tat different things. People prefer to tat jewelry. People prefer to tat all different things. So, um, curious to see what maybe you guys are into tatting. Mm. W what designs did you applique onto your, dress? Like, were they just floral designs or tatting is relaxing, you know? It's very relaxing until you actually, like till you make a mistake. Like, "Oh, fuck. I gotta go back." So, traditionally, dresses were for babies to be used for both boys and girls, just because and I wish it was still like that because I was hoping she would just put it on him one time, but she was too scared to turn him gay. I say that as a joke. That's not a joke, but she kind of annoyed me because she would not put the dress on him, and she was like, "Well, he's a boy." Like, the dress will, like, I mean, like, could you at least have him try it on? Like, y- just to make me a little happier that I made that for him. But she does that. She goes, "No, you're not pretty. You don't have pretty eyes. You don't have pretty eyes. You have handsome eyes." I noticed she does that right now really bad with like we'll go like, "Oh, your hair looks so good because he's half black, so he's got really nice hair." And she just does that a whole bunch. She'll be like, "No, you're not pretty. You're handsome. No, that's pink. That color's for girls." It's like it's pink. It's like it doesn't matter what it's for. That what if all day we just decided as men to just take back pink? I'm like, oh no, pink's actually a man color. Then you'll be wrong. It's like that just goes to show it does not even matter in the slightest bit. Put the dress on him. No, I'm just kidding. He's way too old now, but that's when he was before we even knew what gender was anything. So I say too much. I'm sorry. I say way too much. I probably shouldn't share as much as I do, but I just want you guys to know, like that I'm not perfect individual and I have my own opinions and thoughts and we might not agree with everything, but um and I'm okay with that because if we agreed about everything, what's the fun in that? I like to be able to have communicate and, you know, argue our identities and so that's why I don't really like social media a lot because it's like people want me to believe or want me to act a way that I'm not or or have opinions that I don't have just because it's popular. And I'm not really about that. So I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna from now I just will tell you straight up, I'm not doing that on social media now. I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys how I actually feel. So pink was a masculine color, blue was a feminine color. It's all societal opinion. See, look, i- m- i- if one like if back then we only do stuff because people before us did it. So if everybody back then decided green was the feminine color, it'd be green and not pink. That's just how it is. So humans are weird like that, but that's just how it is. So if she wants her baby to do that, I mean, that's her baby, not mine. So then what makes me a little bit mad too is like, okay, so she goes, well, I want him to learn how to play the piano. I play the piano. Uh, I play the piano. And so she wants me to teach him how to play the piano, but I go, "Okay, so you tell him all this stuff like, oh, that's for girls." She's already setting off the expectation what's for girls for boys. Everybody always sees me as a man doing this, and they can't comprehend it because I'm a boy, right? I'm a man, and I do this, and they can't comprehend it. They're like, "Oh my god, like that's so gay," or whatever. It's like I want him to know that he can do whatever the hell he wants to, and if he wants to do this, he can do whatever the hell he wants to. He can play piano if he wants to. Sure, he can play football if he wants to, he could tat if he wants to, it's all the same shit, if he wants to do it, he wants to do it. I don't like to set off the expectation to him that, "Oh, this is for girls, and this is for boys." I don't like to set that expectation off for him because it's like, "No, it's actually really not. It's for if you've got a set of damn hands or not. If you wanna play football, sure, you could be anybody and play football. As long as you have hands and legs, really, that's all the important thing it is." I don't like to set off that expectation for him because I don't want him to be discouraged to try things that maybe he might enjoy just because, "Oh, it's a girls' thing," you know? I think I have a nice community because, we're t we're I don't know, we're just different. We think different, because we're tatters. We're and also thank you for the I didn't even know you could do a donation, or I don't know what that even is, if that is a donation or not. I don't know what that is. How do I tell? Well, Gray Martin. Oops. I don't know how to what is that? Is that fi did you send me $5? I appreciate that if you did. I mean, you don't have to do that. I have a job, so I don't really look on here for money, but I appreciate that I'll go buy a cup of coffee or maybe I'll go buy another damn, spool of thread then. Is tatting hard? I'm wondering. I knit and I'm wondering. Yeah, tatting's definitely difficult to start off with. Um, Hard to start off with, so people go, "Oh, it's so hard. I don't wanna do it," but it's like, no, it's how you know you're doing a good job is if you're failing at first, and if it's so hard you feel like you can't move on. That's how it should feel. Actually, that's how you know, "Oh, I'm learning something. I'm manipulating this thread. I'm learning how to manipulate this thread in a way." Um, yeah, but a lot of people are not like a lot of people have difficulties persevering or putting a lot of effort to stuff to which people who try something one time and go, I don't get it. I'm not gonna help you out very much. But no, I will help you out a lot. But people who obviously don't are not willing to um put in the time or effort for it. It's like I that's all I can help you with because you need to fail over and over and over and over again before you do anything good. So if you can't accept that, then you should not be doing it. It's hard, yeah, but then it turns super easy. I don't even count stitches. I just have tatted so much that the duration of time I'm going, I can just tell how many stitches I've done. It does become easy. Um, that doesn't mean that it becomes easy, yeah, but techniques and different techniques are and different thread types, like, yeah, I frustrate the hell out of myself. I was using a thin thread and, boom, I was ripping it, boom, ripping it, kept ripping it. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So, I kept ripping it, so, yeah, that makes me wanna give up, but guess what? I don't because look how far I've gotten right now. So this is what happens if you don't give up. Never give up. Just do it. Just kidding. I'm all preachy, but that's what I gotta say to that. Also, I work at Starbucks, so I have the patience of a Buddhist monk. Oh my gosh! Thank you for your other donation, Noodle Dode or Nerd Dodle. Nerd eats doodles. You can donate while you're streaming. Oh, well, I appreciate that, guys. I do have a job, so you don't have to send me any money. I feel bad, you know. But I do appreciate that. I'll buy 2 spools of thread. How about that? I work everybody a lot of comments I always receive, "Oh, you have so much patience, you have so much patience." I feel like I don't, honestly. I don't really have that much patience. Um, but I do work at Starbucks, so imagine just I work in management too, so I get to deal with all the customers that, you know, are horrendous. I just feel like, that's trained me a lot to be patient, especially with, customers because working at Starbucks, it just opens your eyes to, we're forced to make drinks. You are only allowed to be at the window for 45 seconds. If you're at the window for too long, I'm forced to tell my staff to hurry up. Obviously, I don't. Um, I feel like I'm liked at my work, but again, I'm a manager, so you never know. Nobody really ever likes their managers, so but yeah, it's a very stressful environment, and you have to be super patient with people because somebody will dead ass walk up to you and go, "What do you have? What do you have here?" Like I I have zero fucking patience for this is what I have. You better look at that damn menu and tell me what you want. I mean, like, I don't know you. Who are you? Do you know me? Do you know what I like? No, you don't. So what do you have? What do you bring to the table? Exactly. I'd look at the menu if I was you, basically. So, yeah, but I don't really ever have to deal with customers up close like that because again, I am a manager. But which goes to show with I usually only see them if they're mad, but I do really like to if you're a manager and you can't be the fastest one on bar, like if you're not the fastest one making drinks, then who are you? You need to be the best at the job. So in order to split up the work amongst baristas, one thing I can't stand is managers that don't do anything. Like, oh no, I cannot be doing that. I'm getting in the paint. I'm in fact getting in the paint. I am I'm doing dishes, I'm cleaning bars, I'm pulling out fridges, I'm sweeping, I'm restocking, I'm soloing the floor so that my closing baristas, because I have to be there, I close sometimes. I'm soloing the floor. Working the drive-through, making the drinks, taking upfront orders, and doing my supervisor and managerial stuff as well, so that my baristas can calm down and not have to work on positions and clean everything at the same time. Because I used to be a barista and I know how it is. So managers need to be better than baristas, in my opinion. They need to be. I need to be way better. So I have to have a lot of patience. And I can't stand a bitch who says at my work, "Oh, I don't get paid enough for that." Because yes, the fuck you do. I work in California, and I work at Starbucks in California, so I'm not gonna say the exact wages, but, yes, the hell they do get paid enough. Cannot stand when my staff says that. Obviously, I don't say that to their face, but I do set them straight. I do, reiterate the expectation, to them because I'd like to say I'm very lenient to work with, but I know, right? You own your own business, and guess what? The people don't change. But again, you'll meet the best people ever in like customer service, like the best people ever. Then you'll meet like crazy ass people. Like you'll genuinely meet like the dead ass crazy individuals. I don't want to say crazy, but like I've definitely met like a lot of mentally unstable. You could just tell. You worked at Burger King, and people would ask prices. They're literally on the board. No, okay, so yeah, people do that. How much? And I'm fine telling them the prices, that doesn't annoy me, but something that, can I get a coffee that doesn't taste like coffee? Get the hell out of my face. Yeah, so okay, so Starbucks, that's how it is, that's the Starbucks thing, right? So, because I'm a like, right? Because I am in management at Starbucks, um, I am in management, so, I should be the best at everything. I should know how to do everything. I should I should be bringing people along. I should be coaching people. I should be able to clean that store up and down. I should be able to teach and advise on how to clean that store up and down. I should be able to work with customers exceptionally. I should be providing the best customer experience possible. And I do because that's part of my job. And guess what? People like their jobs a lot more when I like my job and I do my job correctly. Because guess what? I could do nothing all day, but I couldn't. I personally could not do that. It's just I can't fathom it. I don't want to get into too much. I don't know who watches these live streams, but obviously no one from my work will. Hopefully, because I should not. I Starbucks is not like you talking about Starbucks, but especially if you work there. But I have a supervisor, man, she's a bitch, bro. Man, she fucking will rip your head off. She'll and I'm a s and, like, we're coworkers, like, she will rip my head off, and, like, it's crazy, like, she ta speaks to my, big boss like he's dumb, and, she'll just rip a barista's head off. She'll be like, yeah, so, yeah, don't do that. Shut your ice bin. Shut your blah blah blah. This that. It's like you cannot do that. I've never hear anything good come from her. So she's an opener. She only opens. She goes, I don't close. I don't do that. She's above it, right? So that forces we have one of our people in management is out right now. So my schedule's crazy. I'm going working at times I don't work at. I have to close, which I don't love to do, but I do it. It's a lot of work, and she refuses to change her schedule to help at all, which my manager's letting her get away with it, but in fact, she would have to, but it's just that he's letting her get away with it. And then I have 2 supervisors who only open. So, they only open, so they only work at 4 AM to 12:30, which sucks because, you either work 4 AM to 12:30 or you work 11:15 to 7:30. Those are the only 2 shifts. So she by her refusing to do that, that makes me and another manager have to burn ourselves out to work every single one of those closing days because the guy who's out, he only closes. So it sucks, but that's how it is, and she's a bitch. And she always complains about the close. She goes, so one time I walk in and I closed. So no, I didn't work the day previous, actually. I walked in, it was my first day on. She walks up to me, she goes, "Hey, Christian," and don't get me wrong, when that girl she's a good person, but she just is just such a bitch. I'm sure she's bipolar or something wrong with her. She's just not normal, you know? I don't say that to be mean, but I just say that because that's just what I've noticed. And I work with her, you don't. So, but she pulled me aside. She goes, whenever I open, I just notice like sometimes the trashes in the lobby aren't changed. Um, I would just change those trashes. I go, I didn't close last night. She goes, I know, I know. I would just I would just change them. Like, what the fuck? I didn't even close, like but, I love working at Starbucks. It's my favorite job ever. I've worked there for 4 years. I'm a 4-year Starbucks partner, and I love it. When you close, it's super fun because it's just, like, trauma bonding with everybody the whole time. I have tried needle tatting. I hate it. I hate needle tatting. You know what? Okay, so Sarah with an H, the best and worst people. The full moon brings out the crazies is 100% true. It's in coffee industry, I don't know what industry you're in. I don't know what industry that you were in, but, in coffee, rainy days or overcast days, that brings out the worst people, and sales increase on those days. I have no clue why, and it's statistically like, through our systems, we always look if it's gonna be overcast sometimes because, yeah, it does make a difference. We do tend to have more traffic, more hot drink. It inspires people like, "Oh, it's overcast outside." That puts me in the mood to wanna have a this or that, you know? So, yep. Passive aggression final boss. Am I being passive aggressive? I'm not trying to be, like, rude or anything, but oh, no, she okay, I'm understanding why you say it now, but, yeah, she's just passive aggressive as hell. I'm not passive aggressive, but, I'm not passive aggressive, but I'll tell you what, I don't let shit slide at my work, and I'm very lenient, but I don't let people get away with shit, like, not doing stuff, like, I hate to say it, but I am gonna be that person. If I see you just standing there, I'm gonna be like, "Okay, wipe your milk fridges out, please." Okay, refill the bean, but that's just what I do. You get to be an asshole about your customer. I'm listen, I will do above and beyond for every single person who walks into my door. Like, I don't care. I go above and beyond for every single person. I'm not even just saying that, like, because I just genuinely like working there. But the second you pull some shit, oh, I can only do the bare. I can only do exactly what I'm getting paid for, which is still a lot, but not what I not. I go above and beyond for my customers. Really, I'll go out there and wipe that chair down in the lobby if they want me to before they sit down on it. But yep, you pull some shit with me, you say some rude shit, sly shit. Yeah, no, you get exactly what I'm paid to give you. You still like working evenings? What is your business? Kathy, I'm wondering what that business is. Exactly. Don't start shit. There won't be shit. This customer, like, just so, there was a customer one time I snapped on. I don't know why. I don't remember. I remember why. I was working at a different store. I was forced to work at a different store for a day, and I worked over there. The staff was weird. It was all girls, and they made me feel weird. Like they like made me like they like singled me out. I was the only boy working, so I was kind of like trapped on drive through by myself. And this customer, she was old. They kept telling me like, oh, make sure to ask for the food first. Make sure to ask for the food first. And so I was like, could I get you any food today? I was like, hi, thanks so much for choosing Starbucks. Is there any breakfast items or food that I could put in the oven for you today? She was like, I want a hot mocha, non-fat, no whip, extra hot, no foam, grande, decaf. They all get the same thing. All of them old people get that. And so she said that. I go, okay, I got the drink, but is there any food that I could do for you today? She literally says the same thing. She literally says the same exact thing in that same exact way. And I go, you ought to be shitting me. So I say, oh, yep, we're working on the drink right. And I have patience too, by the way. I go, oh, yep, we're working on the drink right now. And she goes, don't talk to me so fast next time. And I said, "I do not know why or what came over me." Keep in mind, I was way younger. This was, like, before my brain was, like, a little bit bigger than it is now, and so I said, "You're gonna regret that when you say that up here." And then they pulled me off of the drive-through, so I didn't actually get to, like, see her, but I have no clue why I said that. I have no clue. I did not I was not gonna punch her. She was a hella old lady. I was not about to punch her or, like, post up with her or nothing, but yeah, I said that. Not my proudest Starbucks moment, but man enough to say it. You own a thrift store? Me and my sister love thrift stores. I love thrift stores, but I mainly like junk thrift stores, like, just where there's a whole bunch of shit in it. I don't like a lot of clothes. I do, but, I like a lot of, like, collectibles. There's just so much unique stuff you find at thrift stores, so me and my sister always likes to look through them. I might finish this row on camera. Let's see, 4 Is the live stream, like, is this a good idea or is this a no-go? I don't know if you guys are enjoying this or not because this is really the first time I've done it, so I'm kind of hoping to hear some opinions. I don't know how to do shit on this thing though. I really don't know how to do anything. There's all these buttons on the side. What happened? I worked in apparel at what is our Kroger here in Idaho. Once had a guy need PJs for his wife. Walked him to our intimates, which is where we also keep bras and panties. Dude went beat red and stiffened up like a board. Oh God! Wait, I when I fir- bro, when I first read that, I thought you meant like stiffened up like a board. I don't. Oh God. No comment. No comment on that. Stiffened up like a board. I'm still on that. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like at first, like, oh, he like paused, like he froze. But I think I'm understanding what that's referring to. I think I'm getting what you're putting down here. I got you inspired to make something. I want all y'all to tat. I'm fast at tatting. Thank you. I mean, when you do it 100,000 times, I mean, I'd hope to. Anybody here from California? I'm just curious because I need to know if there's anybody else. Deal with a lot of cloves. I'll take them in as donations and then take them to shelters. Yeah. I've never heard of Indiana. Just kidding. I went to North Carolina, Arizona. Wow. I've been to Arizona, I'll tell you that much. South Carolina. Oh my gosh, this is the most Carolina I've ever seen in my entire life. Thank you, thank you. I just went to Costa Rica because Starbucks does something called the Origins Experience, and so I went to Costa Rica. Turned out I actually got hella sick. I got hella sick when I was there, and but I had to meet all of the like people who went on the trip with because you're selected if you're a coffee master, so you wear a black apron. You're selected to go onto the trip. Well, that means random ass people from all different countries are going to be going, and so I went with a whole bunch of Oh, you're from California, Kathy. You're from California. Where in California? Oh shit! Drop my hook. Quebec. Donc vous pouvez parler un peu français, ouais, non? Ireland. Not trying to be sometimes this happens to me. I'll point over the camera, like my shorts, my hook will get stuck in it and I can't get it out. I don't want to ruin these shorts. Dang, it's in my underwear too. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to get this out of my underwear. It's stuck, the hook is stuck. Yes, I speak French. Um I speak many languages. Oh, I got it undone. Okay, didn't break it. Nope. I speak many languages. French is just one of my favorites. It's one I've learned, but I'm not Canadian. No, I'm American. Aux États-Unis. I don't. Keine Deutsch. Ich ich brauchen Venus. Ich brauchen Pretzel. I don't know any German. But yeah, I should probably finish this damn doily. Look how close I am. I always the part that takes forever for me is because I keep always like trying to measure it. I'm always like I always want to look at it, but I'm almost done with this. I speak English, Japanese, Mandarin. I know some Cantonese. I can obviously read it. Kind of. They use different characters. It's called traditional characters. Hanyu, different Hanyu, but because I had a Chinese friend, I had to learn Chinese back in the day. I still know it. I was just in China in January. But Japanese because I am Japanese. Um French. I speak French because I had to with Starbucks. And I also speak Spanish just because I know French. So uh, all of my coworkers, some of my coworkers are Mexican. And all of the ones that are Mexican speak Spanish. A lot of them who don't even speak, who are not Mexican, speak Spanish. I have a coworker from Chile, coworker who is she's also speaks Portuguese as well. So she's from Chile. So I speak Spanish, obviously. So yeah, English, Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, French. But they're all related, so you can't really count it like I'm some wizard or anything because they're all extremely related and easy to it's a romance language. It's easy. I could definitely read some Italian too, just because French speaker. So, but I'm not calling myself fluent in that. But these are just the ones I'm able to speak in and have get around. Yeah, I'm mixed white and Japanese. I'm 25% Italian, 25% Sicilian, and Japanese. Yeah, but I look mostly white. I would show you me, but um, I mean, speaking different languages, it's very important to me. I mean, my kids are gonna have to do that. It's super important to me because it makes you think different. Yeah, basically, I am. What would happen if Yakuza got with a mob because I'm Sicilian, so that's the original mobsters too. So, okay, well, Kathy, I hope you have a great day. I want to take a peek at your thrift store eventually. I'll come pay a visit eventually if I'm ever in town. What city? Because I do travel a lot. Hope you have a great day, Kathy. Maybe she already left by now, but she was great. Kathy was great. Loved her. So, what does speaking French have to do with Starbucks? LOL. So, I had to do it for Starbucks because Starbucks required me to do it. AKA, I had to speak with French Canadian folks. So I was a translator. I'll continue making this doily instead of just staring with my mouth wide open at the chat. But Kathy was great. I'm almost done with this damn thing. Please just let me finish this. And then I have to do another row like the exact same but upside down. So I'm not really like I'm just taking this one by one. There's no extreme elements on this one. No extreme elements or changes or pieces, it's just kind of just tatting in the round for 15 rows. How does one learn to do this? I would just go on YouTube. I don't have tutorial videos yet because I don't know. I just really like just sharing what I'm making, and I really like to have that, you know, I haven't decided to make a tatting video yet. And is it okay if I don't just so far? What am I work how am I recording? Well, I could show you a little bit. Let me shut this real quick. So I don't know how to flip the camera though. Okay. So I'm gonna flip this camera. This is me. Oh god, what do I look like? What do I look like before I even like expose myself to you guys? I don't care. I don't care what I look like. This is what I look like. Is it okay? Is it okay by you guys? But I have an overhead tripod. So this is my overhead tripod. I'm I'm sitting down at a desk. I'm recording. I usually put like a little black topper. This thing I put on the whatever this is my desk. I just was lazy, so I didn't feel like doing that, but got this here. Overhead. I also have a lamp light right here. I did something to this screen. Okay, well, this is my overhead projector, whatever. This is my light. This is my window. This is my room. I don't want to show you everything because I have a whole bunch of shit from what I have to set aside from my desk. That's my shirt, my headphones, tatting shuttles, my doily, the book I was showing you guys, my PG&E bill. Just probably doxed myself, but it's okay. You guys can show up. You guys show up. This is my wall, I guess. This is my bed, but I always keep it shut because I'm a weirdo. I have to have like I have to have it pitch black because I used to work at 4 a.m., but I don't use it anymore. So I guess we can get back to tatting. That's just a little bit about me. It's just weird because I want to like too scared to share. I don't like to share a lot, like, but I'm glad that I have this before. I'm recording on phone. Oh yeah, I'm recording on phone. So I'm nosy too. I like to know. I like to know about it's like what people live in. It's like you know like, that's just a little sneak peek into my life. I would show you the rest of my house, but, I've gotta vacuum. I've gotta vacuum and pick up a little bit before I've got dishes to do, but, eventually you'll see it. I'm almost done with it. I'm procrastinating. Look, I've just got this one stretch left. How many would I do there then, technically? So, okay. This is always the wor ending tatting too, so ending your tatting always sucks. Tatting before chores. Yeah, I am. It's my day off though, bro. I worked so much, so I finally have a day off, and I've been tatting since I've been awake. I am being me. I look exactly how you expected. Wow, I don't know if that's good or bad. It's ASMR. Yep, back to tatting. So I just had to throw you guys to that like real quick. I'll continue off my tatting. I'll probably finish. My phone's about to die though. I have no. It's at 7%, so you guys might not see the end of it. I have no clue why it's called tatting. I don't know, but it's called something different. It has a very common name in in romance languages, so all, like, romance languages or in that area, it has a history. It's all starts with the F, like frivolite, like, all that good crap. Here it's called tatting, not sure why. Never really looked into it. Okay, bye, Wolf Blades. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having me expose my address online. Just kidding. The hardest part of tatting, in my opinion, is figuring out how to hold it. Do you see how uncomfortable this is? And you have to, like, kinda, like, push it this way and, like, to get the stitches right depending on what direction you're making the rings and chains. I think holding it can be quite difficult and uncomfortable, and that's what beginners can struggle with mainly. It takes a while to be able to get a footing, to be able to hold it correctly. Well, there's no correct way, excuse me, but just the most comfortable way that you've found. I have no advice for it. You just gotta figure it out. How I got into it, basically just select family members have done it. I wanted to do it because I crocheted a crochet history, and I crocheted for a very long time. I've tatted for a very long time too at this point, but um, I don't know. At first, when I started tatting, I gave up. I've already shared this to viewers who may are new or have stayed since the beginning, but um, I tatted, with this rinky-dinky old shuttle. I couldn't flip the knot. I was like, "Fuck this." And then when I figured out how to be able to do it, I was like, "What do you even do with this?" Like, I had no inspiration, so I didn't do it for a while, for a year. And then I returned back to it because I found out, like, I saw this one lady tatting a huge ass doily, and I was like, "Damn, you could really do stuff with that." So, I researched the pattern she was doing, fell in love. It was this designer specifically, so I've been tatting this designer since I started tatting, and I've made a whole bunch of his pieces, but they've not survived up until this day. I've moved many times, given away. Um, yeah, they're used for anything. You could literally fucking make anything with tatting. Um, like anything, anything. Think of it. You can make it a tablecloth. You can make a bedspread. Obviously, that'll take you some time. I'm not saying that it won't, but the size of the project really restricts you, honestly, so a lot of people make just smaller things like jewelry. I like to make really big lace pieces like doilies or, I really specialize in doilies just because they mean nothing and do nothing, and I like that. Sometimes you just display your skill and craft just by having it do nothing. Only I know the extents I went to make something. I'm quite rough when I tat, I throw my stuff everywhere. Noisy sockeye, am I single? I am now. Didn't used to be. Learn how to flip this. Is it the maple leaf ornament that, Frivol's one? Okay, if I give you the tea, said quote unquote, it's actually quite weird. So, it's quite weird, and I don't know how much I should share, but yeah, just I don't really like it when you show up to my house at 11 p.m. at night and right on my sister. Like, first of all, I don't wanna be stalked at work, so please do not come to my work if we're arguing and wait in a busy line and keep telling my workers to come and pull me over to like, it's busy, and you keep trying to distract my workers to talk to me. You sit down in my lobby for 2 hours waiting for me to be off. You get in your car in the parking lot and wait for me for another hour. You drive further down the street so you can stalk me and wait for me. Then that same night, you drive to my house. I park in the garage though, and right on my sister's car. I just don't know why he won't. On a note, on like a tissue paper, leave it on my sister's windshield. My sister's like scared as hell. She's like, "What is this?" And then like that's not fun. I just don't like that. But that could just be me. I'm just not into that. So, and then her mom, crazy. Her mom, crazy. Like if you do spiritual stuff, like it's fine. Like if you do spiritual stuff, but yeah, none of that. Like she would do something called Reiki. I don't care, but I don't care. I don't really think it does much. That's just my opinion though. But she would do Reiki. She always in always in my ex's business. So and would always she always would like insert herself. She got super mad at me one time because I was a teenager. Okay, so I we went to Chick-fil-A and I stole these flowers off the table and yeah, and I gave them to you know my my old friend and yeah, her mom got mad and was like, "You need to give those back. You need to give those back." And she was so mad she didn't talk to me for weeks. So yeah, do not steal your girlfriend Chick-fil-A flowers, or she'll say that you're a. She called me demonic. She said that there was just something demonic about me, and would yeah, she was just weird. She was a helicopter mom, like always had to know what her daughter was up to, and like even in college over Chick-fil-A flowers that I stole. So that's like what really got it. One time, my grandmother, who I used to live with, um, I stole from the Lord's Chicken restaurant. I did. I did. Sue me. I'm so sorry. Um, so yeah, don't steal your girlfriend Chick-fil-A flowers. She I was got called demonic over that, and some other, you know, she just didn't trust me. After that, she really didn't trust me. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Like, but like she really did not trust me after that. We obviously were good again. Then, if you're just crazy, I just can't do the crazy stuff. So can't do it. Not how I show love. You would never know that based off of my tatting videos. Isn't that weird? So it's just I find it so fascinating that um you guys just don't really know shit about me, and I probably won't really post a lot of videos about my personal life, but I just always interesting because I do have a lot of stories that I think are interesting to tell, but you would never been able to gather that off of a video of me tatting a fucking doily, would you? I just had to ghost somebody too. I don't say that like I'm like proud of that or anything, but anyways, what do I say after that? I don't know what to really say after that, but oh, so I used to make tatting shuttles like too. The I won't show the face very well, but this was her. I made her a shuttle. This is a picture of her on a swing, and I still have it and a lot of other stuff too from her. I've got a we also have we had a book together too, which all of our pictures, but uh, I don't know where it is, and I kind of don't want to show her face on online, but 'Cause imagine that, then I'd really be demonic. That's why I've always just had a problem with recently, I've been really good with, like, boundaries because people throughout my whole life have always just never respected boundaries for me, have always taken it too far, and, one thing that I do not like is that it makes me the most mad. Yeah, I did Mod Podge on them. I made her one time too, it was the Mona Lisa and that picture of her. I wonder if I just wonder, I go, if she still has it. She's out of spell, yeah. I'm scared her mom's gonna put a hex on me. Okay, can I say this too? This crosses the line, but this crosses the line, but, I remember, like, I've known this girl since 7th grade, so, I taught her to tat, yeah, I taught her to tat, like, um, but she hasn't done it since, like, we were f she, she did it when we were a senior in high school. We had piano class together, and we would do it together in piano class, but, I would taught her, but after that, she really liked pottery, so she had her own hobbies and things that she liked to do, and we loved Minecraft. We played Minecraft every single day on the phone, but her mom one time was like, "You have to unfriend your friend," and, told my ex that, "You have to unfriend your friend." Who?" Like, why did and I was like, "Why do you have to unfriend her?" And she was like, "Because she got the vaccine." And I'm like, "What?" Like, cause this is like COVID, like, about 2020, 2021 time, and she goes I go, "Well, you don't have to not be friends with her because she did got the vaccine, and, regardless of what you think, I don't really care, I have no opinion, I'm not even gonna share an opinion on that, but, like, she was like, "No, I have to unfriend her." My mom who d keep in mind, this is the same mom who told me I was demonic and that I was, like, converting her to do bad stuff. I'm a sh I do this. I literally do this, and I was deemed a bad influence. Okay, whatever though. But, it's like, really? But, like, I feel like, uh, parents like, if your daughter had brought home a guy who did this, I feel like it wouldn't you wouldn't be, "Oh, no, she's going down a wrong path." But, yeah, she told her that the vaccine transmits through the air, um, and that she could not be friends with her because by being friends with her and being near her, she would get vaccinated, the COVID vaccine.